All right. Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Taylor Richmond. I'm a past president and exec board member of West Virginia ACRAO. And on behalf of West Virginia ACRAO and StriveScan, we are excited to have you all here attending the session with us today. We have two of our good friends from Berea College who are going to be presenting on all the great opportunities that their institution provides. Before we hand it off to them, though, I do have a few housekeeping items I just want to go over. First, all of our attendees will be silent and unseen, so your cameras and mics will be off. However, you can participate with our presenters by utilizing the Q&A function. So if you have any questions that come to mind along the way, please type them into the Q&A box. The presenters will either answer audibly or directly to you in that feature. If for whatever reason they are unable to answer your questions or get to all the questions, our panelists are provided a list of the attendees and a list of the questions that are asked, and they can follow up afterwards. This is a recorded session, so if there's anything that you missed or want to go back and cover again, you can definitely do that. Our presentations are going to be on our website at WVACRAO.org. As well as this is a reminder that this is one of many sessions that we have for you during this West Virginia ACRAO tour. So please check out some other institutional presentations, as well as some panel sessions from admissions representatives, financial aid, and other professionals within higher ed from around the state and region to again provide you all of the answers to your questions throughout this week and next, as well as some of the recorded ones that are already been presented last week. And that too, again, is at westvirginiaacrao.org, WVACRAO.org. All right, I'll see you guys back in 45 minutes. And now I'll be happy to turn it over to our friends from Berea College.
Hey, my name is Brittany Ortiz-Perez. I am an admissions representative for Berea College. And with me, I have Rhea Carter. She's also an admissions representative. I recently graduated from Berea as well. I majored in biology and minored in sustainability. And let me see if I can share my screen real quick. So one of the biggest things that draws students to Berea is our no tuition promise, just meaning that students do not pay tuition throughout their 4 years. All they have to do is pay for room and board, dining, and textbook, but a lot of that can be covered through the FAFSA, so it's really important to go and fill that out. And that actually came out October 1st, so you can go ahead and get started on that. The average first year cost is about $1,000. And 49% of our graduates do graduate debt-free, with the average debt being less than $7,000, which is usually for loans for studying abroad and those types of things. Each student saves about $176,000 over their 4 years. And as you can see, the average debt at graduation is a lot lower than that of Kentucky, which is where we're located, and that of the national debt. And throughout this presentation, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the Q&A and Rhea will be able to help answer those. You may be asking yourself, how do you qualify to come to Berea? You do have to be Pell Grant eligible, which is determined by the FAFSA. Another super important reason to go ahead and fill that out. We offer over 60 areas of study. For example, we have business, nursing, biology, computer science, history, and art. Those are a few that I can think off the top of my head. But if we don't have the major you're looking for, we do offer an independent major where you will work with your academic advisor to create a list of courses that you would need to complete that major. Our student to faculty ratio is 10-to-1, which allows professors to support their students inside and outside of the classroom. They do expect a lot from you, but they care about you, and they create office hours and TA hours where you can go and ask for help on your homework or anything else that might be going on in the classroom. The average class size is 14 students, and as the years go by, they do get smaller. I've known classes to have as little as 5 students. Another cool thing about Berea is that we offer bridge out opportunities. So if you're thinking about going to grad school, After Berea, we do have funding for grad fees, grad tests, traveling to any grad schools and conferences that you might be interested in. And if you need a new suit for this, we also have a professional clothing fund. I believe it is now $350 that Berea will give to their juniors and seniors to get some good suits. We were also ranked best bang for your buck by the Washington Monthly, as you can see at the bottom. At Berea, we also have a work program. So students work 10 to 12 hours a week, and it helps make our type of education possible. It gives students the tools needed to be successful after leaving Berea, and by gaining them a sense of a job and valuable skills and experience. We have 120 labor departments and over 300 positions to work in, and these jobs can reflect areas of study or academic interest. For example, if you are a business or accounting major, you can work inside our finance office. Or if you're a computer science major and you want to work on computers, you can do that in our IS&S office, which is where students take their laptops to go get fixed or check out any other electronics they may need. But we also have a bunch of other jobs. So if you don't want to work within your major, for example, if you're a women and gender studies major and you like making mugs, you can do that. For example, I was a biology major and I worked as a residential advisor and then a hall coordinator. So I got to work within my residence hall and create programs and just deal with any resident concerns that came my way. Our first year students are not allowed to choose their position. They are placed into one, but we do ask them to fill out a resume because we want to put them in something that we think they would be good at. And after their first year, they are allowed to go look for a different position. We even have certain days on campus. For example, we have a Labor Day, which is a mix of a job fair and a celebration of a work well done that happens inside our Seabury gym. This is where all the departments will come and tell you what positions are available for the upcoming year. And most of these positions will also ask for you to do a resume as well as an interview experience. Which will give you experience as well. And in your first year, you will earn up to $2,000, and that is absolutely yours to keep. You can do whatever you want with that. Now, this is a really big slide, so if you have any questions throughout this, please feel free to go ahead and put them in the Q&A. So in a typical school year without COVID or pandemic happening, we have a move-in day, which is a huge celebration on campus. We have a bunch of people from the community come and help. For example, pictured right there is our President Rulofs. He comes with his wife and his dog to help our students move in, as well as other staff, faculty, student athletes, and any other students who might want to volunteer. We are a residential campus, meaning that all of our students live on campus with the exception of some off-campus students and non-traditionals. And a non-traditional student would be anybody who's over 23, married, or has children. They live in what we call the Eco Village, which is a set of apartments set aside on Berea's campus. And on move-in day, every student gets a free laptop, and it's yours to keep once you graduate. Now, inside our residence halls, we do offer Wi-Fi, AC, and a mini fridge to all of our first-year students because we don't want you to have that extra expense coming in. And we also offer free laundry. And we have student life residential advisors that live inside the building and are there for your support or any questions you may have. They also try to build community. So if you're interested in having a movie night or a game night with your floor, they can make that happen. We also have dining on campus with extended hours from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. And it is an unlimited meal plan, so you can go as many times throughout the day as you want. If you just want a quick snack or something, you can go do that. We also give our students flex dollars, where they can spend at our Tres Habanero little Tex-Mex restaurant on campus, or the Pinnacle Cafe, which gives snacks and coffee and those types of things. We also have the Student Success and Transition Department. This department is here to help facilitate the needs of our first-year students, because we know that the transition from being a senior in high school to a freshman in college can be pretty difficult. So they try to make that as smooth as possible. They can get students in contact with math labs, writing labs, counseling services, health services, and any other support networks that they might need. At Berea, we also have a bunch of clubs, organization, and performing arts. We have over 70 organizations. For example, we have our Banana Run Club, which is student-led. Students dress up as bananas, go run to our local Walmart, grab a banana, and run back. We also have the President Run/Walk Club, where students will wake up at 7 a.m. and go run with President Rudolph's. And after so many runs, he'll even give you a free pair of running shoes. We have a theater program, and they produce about 4 productions a year, and students do take the lead in creating them. And we have a bunch of dance groups as well. We have a hip hop, a Latin, a stomp team, modern dance, country dancers, just to name a few. And we also have Kinetic Expressions that happens once a year. This is a modern dance performance, and students can try out for that. We also have a concert choir, a mariachi band, and we offer free music lessons to anybody who might want to learn something new. And for any of these things that I've mentioned, you don't need any experience to do. You can just go out and try out or join. We also offer intramural leagues to anybody who likes to do those kind of sports. We have flag football, volleyball, soccer, basketball, just to name a few. And they go throughout the year, so you can sign up at any time. Now, probably my favorite thing about Berea is our study abroad opportunities. Berea will help pay up to 75% of a semester abroad, and they pay off 1/3 of a summer abroad experience. With this, I was able to go abroad 2 times. I went abroad after my freshman year to Ghana, Africa, where I got to learn about health promotion. So I went to a bunch of different hospitals and just saw how they did things there compared to how they do things here in the States. And after my sophomore year, I got to go to Utila, Honduras, where I learned how to scuba dive, as you can see in the picture right there. I also learned about coral reefs and the bird and fish environment of Utila. And that's actually where I found out that I would like to study marine biology in the future. At Berea, we also offer internships funding. So most internships are not typically funded. So Berea helps with all of that, from housing, transportation, food, to a little bit of spending money. And we allow you to do up to 2 summer internships. And in the summer of 2019, we had over 250 completed summer internships at places like Google and the White House. And at the end of your internship, at the end of the summer, when you come back, Berea will give you $1,000, because that's what we believe you would have saved up if you were working during the summer. And with that, I also was able to do 2 internships. I did an 8-week one in Salt Lake City, Utah. I took care of kittens day in and day out, and I learned that kittens are actually really hard to take care of. I also did a 3-month internship back in Utila, Honduras, because I was so interested in diving and just getting my certifications up, and I became a dive master. And I got to keep learning about Utila's environment and their invasive fish species and how to handle all that. And with all of my experiences, I was still able to graduate with less than $5,000 in debt, which that amount of money wouldn't even cover one of my experiences. So I'm super thankful for Berea. Next, we have our career development. So this is where you would go to secure these internships. They help with all of that, as well as give the money for the professional clothing fund, and money for conferences if you're interested in that. I took that opportunity as well. I went to Los Angeles for the very first time to go to a conference about sustainability during my senior year. So I highly recommend students to go do that. Next, we have our student support centers on campus. We have our public safety officers. They work 24/7 and they're there for literally anything you might need. If you're just coming back from McDonald's and it's dark outside and you're just scared to walk by yourself to your residence hall, you can give them a call and they'll give you a ride to your residence hall. But literally anything else you might need, you can call them. We also have free counseling services with walk-in hours. So if you just need that throughout the day, you can go do that. We also offer free health and dental services to all of our students. And that takes place in the White House Clinic, which is right next to campus. You could literally walk there if you needed to. And some students will even apply to get braces, and Berea will help fund all of that. We also have the Center for Teaching and Learning, as well as the Office of Disability and Accessibility for any of the students who might need that. Now, I know that was a lot of information. So again, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat box and Ria will help you answer those. And I don't know if we have any athletes on the call, but we are NCAA Division III, and we offer 14 intercollegiate sports that are listed right there. Now, first and foremost, our student athletes are students first because we are on an academic scholarship. So if you get hurt or anything, Berea will not kick you out. You get to keep your spot on the team and everything. And there's not any cap sizes on these teams. So if the coaches feel that you'll help their team, they'll bring you on. Cross country and track were both nationally ranked in 2019. And I had the opportunity to do both of those. I love running, so I joined their team, even though I thought I was not very good at it. And I'm so glad I did. I made so many friends and just got so many different opportunities to go run around. Our conference is also the USA South Conference. And again, if you don't want to join any of these, you can still do most of these in the intramural leagues. They're less of a time commitment, and they happen throughout the year as well. All right, now for the admissions process. So our application is free, but once you are accepted, we do ask for a $50 deposit to hold your spot. The application itself takes about 20 to 30 minutes to fill out, and you can pause it and continue it later on. And after that, we do request 5 other things. We ask for the academic records, a school counselor evaluation form, a teacher recommendation from a core teacher. So that would be a history, a math, and English, and the FAFSA, which will determine your Pell eligibility. As I mentioned before, it has already came out on October 1st, so you can go ahead and fill that one out. And lastly, official test scores. This year, they are optional. And it won't hurt you at all if you just haven't had time to take it due to COVID, or you just don't think it's a fair representation of yourself. You don't have to opt in on submitting those. It won't hurt you. We are taking a holistic approach to it. And throughout this whole process, if you need any help, you feel free to contact me and I will be able to help answer your questions. Now, we have some key dates on the side. As I mentioned, October 1st is the FAFSA. Super important to fill out. Next would be our October 31st. That is our early action deadline. With this one, you'll have a decision back by Christmas, so you won't have to worry with the new year coming in about what Berea's decision was for you. And next we have our November 30th. With that one, that is our priority deadline. And with that one, you'll have a decision back by mid or late February. Next is our March 31st. That is our final deadline. With that one, you'll have a decision back by April. I highly recommend students to do either the October 31st or November 30th, just because by those 2 dates, we do admit half of the incoming class. So you don't want to wait out to the very last second. And then lastly, May 1st would be our commitment deadline. So that is where that $50 is due to hold your spot. All right, now some application boosters to create a stronger application. These are not required whatsoever. We just recommend you to do them. The first one would be our recommendation letters. And this can come from anyone from your community or other teachers. Then would be your personal statement. With this one, you can write whatever you want your counselor to know about you. I know they really enjoy reading these and getting to know you better. Next, we have our college resume, where you get to brag about what you're doing, whether that be any clubs, jobs, extracurriculars. Next, we have our campus visits. With that one, we are offering both virtual and on-campus visits. You just need to sign up through our website and register for one of those. And then lastly, we have our quick completion, which is just finishing your application within 30 days of starting it. Once again, these are not required, just recommended. All right, and here is the different admissions counselors. Yours would be Alicia Riley, which is the third one there. And this is their calendar, so you can sign up to meet them and ask them any questions you might have. All right, any questions that I can help answer?
All right. Well, Brittany, thank you so much for the presentation. I think that definitely, judging by the lack of questions thus far, I think it offered a lot of answers to a lot of folks. I will just say, as someone who's from the state of West Virginia, and you're speaking to obviously West Virginia high school students, they may have a little bit of a hesitancy to go out of state. Is there anything that you could speak to about that may help alleviate some of those fears, or something about Berea that might interest them to know before going out of state?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of our students come out from out of state. I personally came from North Carolina, so I understand that fear. But it's really cool because Berea doesn't, since you don't pay tuition, there is no out of state tuition that you'll have to pay. So you'll pay the same amount as well, not really, because your FAFSA will help determine what you'll pay for that year, but you won't have to worry about any out of state tuition. Also, if you're 8 hours away or further, you can have your car, so you can also have that.
Very good. That's always one of the questions I know that a lot of our reps get every year is, can I bring my car to campus? I got to get around, or I got to get back home on the weekends, or explore the area. I know that's definitely something that a lot of people are. So that's a good point to know. So speaking of which, what are some, maybe you didn't highlight them fully, if you want to go and touch on some things that are in the area around Berea that folks like to do or visit, proximity to other cities or towns and things in the area?
Yeah, so inside of Berea, we have a bunch of like outdoor things you can do. We own a little hiking trail called the Pinnacles, where a lot of students like to go, as well as Bushy Forks, which is right outside of our alumni office. So students like to go out there as well. And we're also really close to Richmond, Kentucky. It's about a 15-minute drive. And they have everything from like the bowling alley, the movie theaters, and things like that, a little shopping center. And then the next biggest city would be Lexington, Kentucky, which is where like those horse races are every year, besides, this year. But they also offer a lot of other things out there.
All right. Well, like I said, I think you did a fantastic job of presenting all the great things about Berea and all the opportunities that you all provide to students. I didn't realize the tuition deal that you guys have. It might have persuaded me many, many years ago. So give it a second more to ask any questions into the Q&A box if you like. But in the meantime, I'm going to switch over and share the screen one more time. Perhaps maybe looks like it's not wanting to facilitate here. Let's try this again. There we go. Present.
Yeah, I found my little fun fact. We haven't charged students tuition since 1892. So
Wow, that's quite a long time ago. All right, now I'm ready to share, I think. Let's try that again. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything else in the Q&A. Again, Brittany and Rhea, who's behind the scenes, thank you both for taking the time to present to us today on behalf of West Virginia ACRO and StriveScan. We really appreciated you guys being here. Again, this was a recorded session, so at the close of this, it will be available on our website, again, westvirginiaacro.org, WVACRAO.org. When I close this presentation, this webinar, what will happen is the attendees will be asked to complete a quick 4-question survey. This just helps us to improve for future presentations and panels down the road. Again, please sign up for more sessions at our website that I mentioned. You can find another 2 weeks worth of institutions as well as panels to answer all your college questions. So again, on behalf of West Virginia ACRO and StriveScan and our friends at Berea, thanks so much for attending, and we'll hopefully see you again soon. Thanks.